Right. In this lesson, we are going to look at some application of percentages. So by the end of the lesson, you'll be able to use percentages in terms of calculating certain proportion and also be able to use it in terms of profit and loss, GST, and cost and selling price. So some practical usage of percentages. Now, if you're asked to increase 120 by 10%, what would you do? You know that 10% of 120 equals to 12. Therefore, increasing 120 by 10% is actually 120 plus 12, which is 132. However, we can write it in a different way. So, if you write down 120 plus 120 times 10%, alright, that is 120, if you factorize it, plus 10%, which is 120 plus 1 plus 0.1, because 10% is 0.1, is 120 times 1.1. So that will give me 132. Alright, so here we can see that if you want to increase by a certain percentage, you multiply the number by that percent, whatever it is, 1 plus that percent. What about decrease 80 by 5%? You know 10% of 80 is 8. 5% of 80 is therefore 4. So 80 minus 4 is 76. Or what you can do is write it down as 80 minus 80 times 5%, which means 80, 1 minus 5%, which is 80, 1 minus 0.05. Therefore, that is 80 times 0.95, which is 76. So therefore, if we decrease something by a certain percentage, it's 1 minus, multiplies the number by 1 minus whatever that percentage is. Alright, so what we can try is summarize the whole thing. If we have an original amount, if we want to increase by A%, we multiply the original x by 1 plus A over 100. Convert the percentage into decimal. To decrease, you multiply x by 1 minus. Again, convert it into decimal. Alright, so now let's try doing something else, using the same idea. Marcus decides to bake a cake during the school holiday. He knows that he needs 500 grams of flour in his recipe in order to make a cake big enough for 10 people. How much flour would he have to purchase if he decides to bake a cake for 18 people and bake a cake for 6 people? So we know 18 people is actually 80% more than 10 people, right? Because 8 divided by 10 is actually 80%. So therefore, Marcus need to buy 500 times 1 plus 0.8, which is 500 times 1.8. Alright, so what is 500 times 1.8? You should be able to work it out if you don't have your calculator, because 8 times 5 is 0.8 times size is 5 times 500 is 400. So therefore, it is 900 grams. So Marcus needs to buy 900 grams of flour. Alright, what about 6 people? 6 people is actually 40% less than 10. Alright, So therefore, we know he needs to buy 500 times 1 minus 40%, which is 500 times 0.6, which is 300. So therefore, Marcus needs to buy 300 grams of flour. So that's actually the usage of increasing and decreasing according to the proportion. Now, what about cost and selling price? Let's have a look at the figure here. So if you are a cafe owner selling not only coffee, you sell your beans as well. You actually sell the coffee beans to a customer, let's say at $65 per kilogram. However, as a cafe owner, you need to buy the coffee bean from someone, perhaps from the roaster, and you probably be buying it at a price lower than $65. So in this case, let's say $40 per kilogram. So therefore, you know that what the cafe owner bought the coffee from the roaster, that is the cost price. And when he sells it to the customer, this is the selling price. Alright, you can see that in order to make a profit, the selling price must be higher than the cost price. Alright, let's have a look at profit and loss in this case. Profit is selling something above the price we paid for. Loss is selling something below the price we paid for. Alright, so now if we paid for the item, let's say X dollars, that's a cost price, and we sell it for Y dollars, that's a selling price. The selling price minus cost price is Y minus X. So if it is greater than 0, we make a profit. And if it is less than 0, we make a loss. However, if it equals to 0, we actually break even. Alright? So in order to calculate percentage profit, is you need to work out the profit over the cost price times 100%, and percentage loss is calculate out the loss divided by the cost price times 100%. So these are the two calculations that's important involving percentages. To know whether you're making a profit or loss is either a plus, greater than 0, or minus, less than 0. Right, let's look at some example. So here, David imports thumb drives at $2.50 each from overseas and sell them in his shop. He wishes to make a 60% profit. What is the selling price per thumb drive? So the profit is 60%, so it's $2.50 times 1 plus 60%, which is $2.50 times 1.6. Therefore, that is actually $4. So his selling price is $4. Now part B. He found another supplier which is cheaper. By selling the thumb drives at the same price, he now makes 80% profit. What is the cost price? So now he's selling it at $4 and making a profit of 80%. So if we let X be the cost price, we know X times 1 plus 80% is $4. So X times 1.8 equals to 4. Therefore, X equals to 4 over 1.8. X equals to actually 2.22222. So we need to give our answer in 2 decimal place. The cost price is $2.22 per thumb drive. Alright, so let's have a look at another example. The cost price for a new car is 25,780 and it is sold for 28,999. You need to work out the profit and determine the percentage profit to two decimal place. So here the profit is 28,999 minus 25,780, which is 3,219. So the profit is 3,219. All right. So part B, the percentage profit. So percentage profit is profit over the cost price times 100%. So the profit is 3,219. Cost price is 25,780 times 100%. So that will be 12.49%. So the percentage profit equals to 12.49%. All right. Next one, try this question, please. I'm going to ask you to pause the video for a while. Please work this one out. So the loss is 3,990 minus 2,900, which is 1,090. So Andrew loss is 1,090. So the percentage loss is 1,090 divided by 3,990 times 100%, which is equals to 27.32%. All right. So Andrew's percentage loss is 27.32%. All right, let's look at goods and services tax, GST. So in Australia, GST, the rate is 10%. And it's a broad-based tax of 10% on most goods, services, and other items sold or consumed in Australia, according to the tax office. Just note that GST is different from all other countries. Here in Australia is 10%. I know, for example, in Malaysia, GST is actually 6%. So wherever you go, when you calculate the GST, you must remember the percentage or the rate is different for other country. So calculating the price including GST. We know that the GST is 10%. So we can work out GST as the original price times 10%. Right? Therefore, original price plus GST is actually the price including GST, which means is 1.1 times the original price. All right. Now, what about we want to work out the GST value given that there's a price including GST given? So calculating GST given the price including GST, so is price including GST divided by 11. All right. That's all you need to know. Let's actually work out some examples. The price of a bookcase is $170 without GST. Calculate the price of the bookcase including GST given that the rate of GST is 10%. So here, the price including GST equals to 170 times 1.1, which is $187. All right. You know 10% of 170 is $17 as a check. What about this? The price of a TV is 2442, including GST. Calculate the GST as well as the original price of the TV. So using the formula 2442 divided by GST equals to 2442 divided by 11, that is 222. And then 2442 divided by 222 is 2220. All right. So therefore, the GST is $222 and the price without GST is 2220. Always remember your unit, which is dollars. One last thing to look at, discount. Generally happens during a sale, and it could be the end of year sale, could be mid-year sale, could be whatever. Sometimes if you bulk buy something, you may also attract a discount, and there will be other situations such as somebody is trying to close their business, so there's a sale, just wanting to discount the goods so that they can get rid of their things in the shop. So if we know that this discount rate is D%, the discounted price is original price times 1 minus D%. And then the percentage discount is discounted price over original price times 100%. All right, let's look at a couple of examples. The original price of a pair of jeans is $78. Chris bought one pair at a sale and the discount rate is 20%. How much did Chris pay for the jeans? So, actually, that shouldn't be a dollar sign here. It's only 20%. So here is 78 times 1 minus 20%, which is 78 times 0.8, which is 62.4. So Chris paid 62.40 for the jeans. Notice that I actually use 2 decimal places. Note that for things to do with dollar, unless it is a whole dollar, always give your answer in 2 decimal places. All right. Dean bought a shirt at a sale for $64 and is discounted by 18%. Determine the original price to the nearest dollars. So the original price, let's say X is the original price. X times 1 minus 18% is 64. So X times 0.82 is 64. Therefore, X equals to 64 divided by 0.82, which is 78.05. Now, we need to determine the original price to the nearest dollars. Therefore, the original price of the shirt is $78. All right, this is the end of the lesson.